Welcome to the History Freak. They were the astronauts of their day in the race to the North and South Poles. They were the polar explorers of the 20th century. Be sure to augment your collection with first and second editions of their signed books. This book bears an original signature of Edward Mackenzie, one of 5 stokers on the ill-fated Antarctic expedition of Robert Falcon Scott from 1910 to 1913. This book bears the signature of American hero and explorer Richard E. Byrd, telling the tale of his journey through the Antarctic and setting up a series of camps known as Little America. This next edition, My Attainment of the Pole, by Frederick Cook, physician, explorer, and ethnographer, who claimed to reach the North Pole in 1908. And here is a beautiful later edition of The Worst Journey in the World by Apsley Cherry Garrard of the ill-fated Scott Terra Nova expedition. And with a certain degree of reverence, the 2-volume set of Scott's last expedition, his famous quote written as he lay freezing and starving to death. As the First World War raged, behold a copy of South by Sir Ernest Shackleton. And here's an early copy of the Geographical Journal of the Royal Geographical Society. And as we shall soon see, Sir Clements Markham of the Royal Geographical Society signed book. And lastly, second in command on Scott's ill-fated Terra Nova expedition, a signed book by Lord Admiral Mount Evans. As we turn the pages of the Clements Markham book, the geographer's bold signature is in the presentation style circa 1886. Admiral Mount Evans went on to have a successful naval career in the First and even Second World Wars. Here, his signature bears his nickname, Teddy. And now, let's get on with original autographs and manuscripts of the titans of polar exploration themselves. First to showcase, we have a copy of the famous portrait of Robert Falcon Scott. This is coupled with an original signature taken from a clipped, signed telegram. And here we have a wonderful photograph, an original signature on an album page of Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen, first to reach the South Pole. And here, a sepia-toned photograph of naval officer and explorer Robert Edwin Peary accompanies a signed check. And here's a wonderful photograph of aerial polar explorer Richard E. Byrd and a signed letter typed to the Boy Scouts of America on his Antarctic letterhead. Rounding out the collection, an incredible photocopy of Australian explorer Douglas Mawson, and on his Australian-New Zealand letterhead, a handwritten note with his signature below. As expedition leader, Mawson identified Herculean wind gusts and visited the windiest place on Earth in Antarctica. To complement the collection, we have a vintage map of the Antarctic continent. And this heroic Antarctic explorer needs no introduction, Sir Ernest Shackleton, in this handsome photo. It is coupled here with an original handwritten and signed note by Shackleton from our friends at Meridian Rare Books in the UK. One is reminded of the famous quote, "For scientific discovery, give me Scott. For speed and efficiency, give me Amundsen. But when all hope is lost, pray for Shackleton." This is the History Freak, signing off. And as I always say, stay in the past.